Hey, today we're going to talk about how to deal with time and money obstacles when you're developing a product and what you can do about it and how Scrum can help you. All right, so stop the scroll and take a minute to listen up because I have some juicy stuff for you that's going to help you take some of that burden off of if you're developing a course or you're developing a product or service, anything like that, and you're struggling to get it out the door. Maybe you're falling into perfectionism or something like that, or you're running out of time. You don't have time to get it done, right? You're struggling to make the time to get it done because you have other things to do in your business. Okay, so the way we want to look at this is in an iterative sort of way. And I like to use the iPhone as our example because they're a perfect example of how Scrum works and the iterative process of developing a product. Okay, so let's go back and look at the iPhone. When it was the iPhone 1, in January of 2007, it was announced that the iPhone was going to be developed and put out. It was going to be released into production in July of that same year. And so when they did, they had, he did a presentation to the stakeholders and all that stuff. And they ended up releasing the phone on time, but they had two missing features. One of the features was the forward facing camera, and the other feature it was missing was flash photography. And now the reason why this is significant and important is because it was that because they still were able to get that product out on time. That was the big issue, right? Don't be late, be on time. They had promised their stakeholders they would have it out in July, and they got it out in July. Now, whether was missing those key elements that we now have today on an iPhone, that really wasn't an issue because in the first 6 months that the iPhone was out, they sold 1.3 million phones. And then they did an iterative process. So then the next iPhone, they developed more. They got that forward facing camera. They got, that flash photography in eventually. And, it is what it is today. But every single time they release it, they add new features. They fix old bugs or problems. They, develop new technology. They do all of these things, right? And so that's how you can do product development as well. And by taking that iterative approach, here's how it saves you time and money. One, it saves you time because you can actually take a more paced approach to developing your product, right? You can develop it over time rather than trying to, drop everything. We're going to just develop this thing now. And also you can save time because you can get bits and pieces of it out to your clients and to your people and get feedback before you develop the full-fledged product, right? And so that saves you a lot of time because you're basically testing as you go. That's the iterative process of product development. And so that pacing yourself helps you to prevent burnout, but it also helps you because of the way we do the iterative process where each time you iterate through, your product has to be a complete product that you can sell. Even if it doesn't have all the things that you want it to have, in your mind, what you want it to have, that doesn't mean it's not a complete and helpful product that people will enjoy and will find helpful. And then, if somebody pays for it, you can always offer lifetime access to it where they get all the updates and everything else. Or you can simply do like the iPhone where now they have to upgrade, right, to get the next features. But the beauty of it is you can sell it sooner. You can sell it before it's even a full-blown product. Like let's say you have this idea you're going to create a 4 module course and every module is going to have a bunch of units. Well, you could actually get that first module out and sell that and maybe you sell it for a lower ticket maybe than you would the full 4 module course, but you're still selling it. And what does that do for you? It generates revenue, not just for your business, but to keep that product going, right? To keep that project going. So you can see how then your product becomes self-sustaining, right? It has to keep earning its keep for you to continue developing it. And so you work on all the marketing and all, adding those features and doing all of those things. So by the time it's a full-fledged product, you have already done all of that preliminary testing, not only in the development of your product, but in also marketing that product, getting the right language down, finding those pain points that you want to talk about with everybody, so that your product sells, and then delivering on the other side where you're delivering quality, even if it's at a smaller scale than what you wanted, you're still delivering some quality stuff. And I'm not talking about quality production and all that stuff. Like, you don't have to be like some superstar where it's going to be shown on primetime TV or something like that, right? Um, it doesn't have to be that polished, right? It can be pretty raw. And that's the beauty of it, because people are getting that inside, and really they're after the result. They're not really after the prettiness of it. Yes, the prettiness of it can help a user experience, but that you can do over time as you prove that your offer is converting and you start generating revenue. Now you can start putting more time and effort into polishing it once you get things going. So do you see what I'm saying? So, let me know in the comments if you understand what I'm talking about. It's like that iterative process is going to save you so much time and so much money, because you can do things in smaller chunks. You don't have to bite off such a big, huge thing where now you feel like you have to hire a bunch of people and stuff like that. You can still be the visionary and the pioneer for your products, and you can do it at an iterative pace. And that's what my program is all about, is helping you take an iterative approach to building your business so it's not overwhelming and you can start making money as soon as possible. Okay, I hope that helps you, and I hope that you always remember that whenever you develop a product, it's an iPhone. Think of it as your iPhone, right? Or your iMac, or your iPad, or your iPod, whatever it is, right? Apple doesn't just have one Apple. It has all these different products: an iPad, an iPod, iMac, an iPhone, all those things. So think of each one as their own separate product, and then version those babies so you know exactly what version you're working on, and the people that purchase it from you know what version they're getting. And the beauty of that is, as you add features, you can continually raise the price, right? So every time you add features, you raise the price. If you do something in the middle of a release, you can add it as a bonus, and then it makes it more enticing for people to buy it. And then when you re-release it, now it's that bonus becomes part of the core offer, and you can add other bonuses, raising that price again, so you get that price, and you're adding a lot of value every time you iterate through, and it's not overwhelming and killing you, and it's not taking over your entire business. You still have a lot of things to do, right? So think about taking that iterative approach. If you want some help, if you want to learn how I'm helping my clients take an iterative approach to building their business, then you know where to find me. All right. And don't forget to download this month's free book. It's called Obstacle Slayer, and that is at thescrumshop.com/obstacle-slayer. All right. I'll put it in the comments for you. And thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. All of you for being here. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.